Namaste, Namaste, sir.
Yes,
Welcome you all to this second session. We have been listening to Arun Sharma ji. Hope you all have enjoyed the first session, and you all know about something about you have learned something about the elimination, and most importantly through the intestines. Now we shall focus upon the second eliminatory channel, that is the urinary system.
right.
Ji Namaste. And as of urinary system is concerned, how would you like to promote the elimination for a normal man first
Yeah.
through urinary system?
First of all, depending upon the quality of food that we eat, that food can create more urine or less urine, and depending upon the toxins available in that food. Some food has got more water, and that's why more urine may come out. But not all the water is eliminated, because water is also an essential part of the body. Some water will be absorbed by the body, and whatever is extra, that will be eliminated. And in the process of elimination of water through urine, we have to see so many other factors. That there are some foods which has got some toxins which has to be filtered in the kidney. And when the process of filtering is taking place, sometimes it happens that they are too toxic to deal with, and the kidney usually gets affected, and in due course the urinary process itself is disturbed. Either you have irritation in the urinary tract, or you have scanty urine passage, or you have too liberal in the other extreme of too much of urine coming out. There are both possible. Then there is another habit of human beings which is related to this. Many people are advised to drink a lot of water. Drink 2 liters of water, some people say 8 glasses of water, and unless you drink a lot of water, your system will not be cleaned. So your body needs a lot of water, and that's how they advise people. In our system, we don't advise that. Unless, of course, if the person is not following health rules, that is a very good guideline to drink a lot of water and adjust their lifestyle. What I am talking about lifestyle is, when we cook food, many people normally add salt and cook the food. When you add the salt during cooking, you get thirsty. And eating foods which have been cooked with salt, when the sodium is cooked, then it becomes concentrated, and sodium has an affinity for water, and it demands more and more water. For such persons, it's okay to drink a lot of water, because the body will dissolve the extra salt or extra disturbance in the body and can adjust. Whereas a simpler solution for this problem is to add the salt after cooking. Don't cook the salt. Don't cook the salt. Don't cook the salt. We tell people repeatedly, if they cook the salt, they are getting into problem. If they don't cook the salt, they cook only the food and they add salt in the end, it does not get impregnated into the vegetables or the cereals or pulses. So we don't get so thirsty. People who have been drinking a lot of water every day, they come to our nature cure camps and eat foods which we prepare for them. We make only one cooked meal in a day. That's for the dinner. For the rest of the day, we have salad, vegetable salad without any salt. And we have one kind of fruits in the morning for breakfast that also doesn't need any salt. By eating such foods, they get plenty of water, good quality of water, and they don't feel thirsty. That's a wonderful thing. They have been carrying big bottles of water all the time in their life, drinking water and water and water again. But when they come to the camp, in third day itself they realize they have not been drinking water at all. Why is this? Is it good for the body? Oh, they need lot of water, people say. They get all the requirements of water through the food. When they eat fruits, some fruits have 85 to 90% of water. And that water is a better quality water than the water which you are drinking. maybe the best company is manufacturing the water, it's still not as good as the water from the fruits or vegetables. When you take pure water from that fruits, your body requirements are fully fulfilled. Supposing you are eating 500 grams of fruit, the added advantage is that your fecal matter is not even 100 grams, less than 100 grams of fecal matter. In regular practice of eating, we find if a person is eating 500 grams of a food in breakfast, his feces is 400 grams. Only 100 grams is absorbed by the body, or sometimes even not that. So you are not eating food, not earning money to make a lot of feces and make the toilet rich. You are wanting to make yourself rich, your body as a healthy body. So we don't need so much of cereals and so much salt in our system. And people who add salt during cooking, they drink a lot of water, and this water will be a load on the kidney. Too much water has to be filtered down. And this kidney is crying, why don't you give me something to filter? You are giving me only water and I am having to bear all this. Don't put any more water. Kidney keeps crying. We don't listen to it.
Okay, sorry.
And whenever we eat foods which are not salted during cooking, we don't feel thirsty. And our requirement of water is met through the fruits and raw vegetables. And evening also food which is full of boiled vegetables and very little grains. That should be our lifestyle. And if we do that, then urinary problems will never arise. Most of the problems when people get kidney problems, the medical advice is to take low potassium food. Don't take foods which has potassium in it. And they advise you to take foods with more sodium. And they even give saline water injection. Whereas in Nature Cure, a totally different approach. All the foods that we prescribe is full of potassium. Ash goat juice, full of potassium. Bananas and fruits, whatever you prescribe, cucumber. Oh my God! Don't give that. They will say.
That is Nariyal Pani.
Nariyal Pani, full of potassium. So whatever we prescribe is a no-no for the medical treatment. So whenever a person is halfway gone through the medical treatment, never accept them for Nature Cure treatment, because they will suffer too much. So before they go to medical treatment, if they come to you, you can treat them completely with raw vegetables and fruits. That's all. All the potassium you want you can give without any fear, because it comes from natural foods. It has got life in it. Body knows how much to take and how much not to take. We don't have to be the judges. How do you determine how much potassium should be there, how much sodium should be there? You are taking an average study of average people. Average people are not healthy. Data collected from unhealthy people cannot be helpful data. That's our goal. When we talk about kidney problem, we also have to talk about further treatment that's being done by medical treatment. We see most of the people who have initial kidney problem, they go for dialysis. This dialysis machine makes them believe that it does everything that the kidney is supposed to do. People don't realize that kidney has more things to do than just to filter the food, water. Kidney has a number of things to do which the dialysis machine cannot do. If you leave the kidney to work, if there is a problem in the kidney, give it a rest, give it an opportunity, give it proper materials to repair itself. It will repair and work better.
Yes. Before moving into this diseased part, let us understand further fundamentals from you. Again, in the traditional practice, we say that Usha Panam is one important practice.
Beautiful.
So, there again, the quantum of water utilized, and why that water alone in the morning, and how it assists in the elimination. I would request you to highlight upon on those things.
It is not the quality of water and it is not the quantity of water. But more importantly is the way we drink the water comes into play. So, what is the way to drink water? Our ancient Indian cultural practices tell us to take achamana. Achamana is take small drops of water, hold it in the mouth for some time, chant the names of God or don't chant it, just hold it in the mouth, then swallow it. When we do this, it has a different effect on the body than just drinking a lot of water. You take Ushapanam or anything, the best of water cannot be useful unless you hold it in the mouth for some time and then swallow. That's a more important part of the whole discipline. And there are people who take water made by their own Vedic systems of purification. That's called Hamsodakam. This process consists of 4 steps. First step is aeration. That's pour water from one height to another pot, from this pot to this pot. Repeatedly they pour it. So bubbles come out and they throw out some toxic gases. Next step is to filter the water and put it in a broad mouth pot or a glass jar and expose it to sunlight. Minimum of 3 hours of exposure to sunlight. And then what they do, they take the water and again filter it and put it in a earthen pot. In the earthen pot, you put some tulsi leaves or some rose petals. Make sure that the rose petals are not sprayed with medicines. If such a rose petal grown in your own house, you can use those rose petals to put it in the water overnight. And in the morning, take out the leaves or the rose petals and throw it away. In Tamil Nadu, they have got vetiver. In North India, they got khaskhas. All those roots are also very good smelling. You can put cardamom skin, any one of them. Don't put a concoction of all these things and say you have got a formula. No, don't do that. Have one flavor and put some material and don't eat the tulsi leaves, don't eat the rose petals after soaking it in the water. It absorbs toxins and you throw the leaves away. The water absorbs the fragrance of the leaf and it tastes, smells good, tastes good, and that water is called Hamsodakam.
Beautiful, sir. Now, as you have been telling that storing of water, you have very specifically mentioned the earthenware. But of late now we find many metal containers. More specific to state that now this using of copper vessels are widely marketed of late. What should be your comment upon this?
Our body does not use organic materials, inorganic chemicals. Like copper is inorganic, or any other metal is inorganic. Body uses only materials that's organic. So we would say the earthen part is also advantageous in making the air flow in and out and make the water keep the water cool. And that's an added advantage. And the air passing in and out also removes some toxins and makes the water even purer. So these are so many advantages of taking water from an earthen pot. Of course, there are some metals which are safe. Maybe some stainless steel does not absorb all the metallic stuff from the water, in the water. So those are possibilities. Not everybody gets to reach earthen pot.
Now, the another important aspect what we like to hear from you is that boiling the water before consumption. Now, what should be your stand on this?
Our concept is even water has life.
True.
Apsume Soma Abravit Antar Vishwani Bheshajam. That's what Taittiriya Upanishad says. Water is universal medicine. And that has got life. Bhagavad Gita chapter 7 verse 4, it says Aham Rasoham Apso Kaunte. Rasoham means I am the taste in the water. Water on its own has a taste. And that Krishna says I am the taste means the godliness or the life in the water, that is more important than boiling the water. Why do they boil water? They think there are bacteria in the water that may be harmful So if you boil it, it becomes safe. That's a common thinking.
Yes. Very.
But they do not think drinking the dead bodies of bacteria is safe or unsafe. They don't think on that side. Oh, dead bodies, they cannot do anything. They're dead bodies anyway. But dead bodies are foul, fecal matter. It's not supposed to be consumed. Live bacteria are actually more safe and helpful for us. And we should not kill the water. That becomes a dead water. When we are taking fresh water which has got its own taste, that's live water. It's,
Then,
it's
how do
not
we-
the food in your life, the life in the food that matters.
Fine. So the concept is very beautiful, but still that purified water concept, how do we inculcate in the regular practice when we say purified? Now the source of water of late may not be trustworthy.
Yes,
In
correct.
such case, what should be your advice?
See, normally when we drink water only when we speak too much, or when we take food which is where the salt has been cooked, we need more and more water. In our normal diet, we don't eat cooked food at all for 2 meals. One meal we eat cooked food, even there we add the salt only after cooking is done, when it's taken out from the fire. So it doesn't impregnate the vegetables and we don't feel thirsty at all. Water is to be drunk only when you are thirsty. If you're not thirsty, there is no purpose of putting a lot of water into the body and make the kidney overwork. When you overwork the kidneys work for less number of years in your life than necessary. So using every part of the body sparingly is important for us. Unless it's necessary, don't put water into your body. If you feel thirsty, yes. But where do you feel thirst? Not in the stomach, not in the intestine. You feel thirsty in the throat. And have a little water, hold it in the mouth for a long time, swallow it. With very little water, your thirst is quenched. And we don't